Hello and welcome to The Appointment. I'm Pranjal Sharma. Joining me today for a conversation is Rahul Sharma, who's the co-founder of Micromax Informatics. Rahul, thanks very much for being on the show today.
Oh, thanks for having me here, Pranjal. It's good to be here.
Rahul, you had a fantastic entrepreneurial journey, and your brand Micromax is, I think, much better known than you. How did that happen?
How did that happen? It's a long story for that. Yeah. We need to do a couple of episodes.
Right.
But yeah, since beginning, the whole idea was we wanted to solve complex problems. So the mind was always that, okay, to try and solve something complex. And that's so my background is, in fact, the background of all of, four of us founders, we come from a middle class background. My dad was a teacher in school, so as, for my other co-founders also. So we started this organization as a software company in that time. Then that was in year 99 or so. So we thought, okay, we'll come up with some great software solutions. And so there are multiple stories that making. Those days it was when we started off, it was all .com was buzzing.
Yeah, that's the point, because now Micromax is known for its mobile phones and it's a very strong brand, and you've really put in a lot of effort to make it compete with the biggest brands of the world. But the story before the mobiles were launched for Micromax is equally interesting. Tell us about the time when you founded the company, and what was your vision at that time? What did you want to do as a young entrepreneur?
So that that's as I said before we launched mobile phones, usse pehle even my parents, they never knew that what I was doing. Because we were into fixed wireless phones and fixed wireless terminals, so it was a little complex in terms, because we were working on a lot of GSM and embedded technology solutions. So कोई भी पूछता था उनसे कि अच्छा जी लड़का क्या करता है, तो they used to say हाँ जी कंप्यूटर का काम है. That was easier for them to explain. Of course now we make mobile phones, so people know.
So what was your business at that time? Micromax Informatics sounds like a very heavy name, and it clearly indicates the beginnings rooted in software. So what were the kind of solutions that you began?
Yes, so still, say the name is, and why Micro, so the original name of the company was Micromax Software. And when, from a proprietary company, when we wanted to become a private limited company, at that time ROC, they never, they said, okay, Micromax Software, that name is not there available. That's why we kept it Micromax Informatics. So till today, even though we make mobile phones, the name is Micromax Informatics. So we used to work on a lot of different, software technology on multiple platforms, from e-commerce to embedded technology, and then to all fixed wireless and GSM technology. That was a time when you used to work on all different diverse technologies. And how we started making mobile phones, there's a small incident which happened with me, which I've shared in my earlier interviews. We used to supply these fixed wireless phones and terminals to Airtel and Vodafone and all. One day there was a problem in one of the products, and I got a call from one of the senior guys from Airtel. He said, Rahul, there's a problem in your equipment. Why don't you go and solve it? I said, yeah, I'll send some engineer. He said, no, you yourself go, because it's a senior level escalation. It's better you go and see it yourself. So I went there. It was in Behrampur, deep interiors of Bengal, touching Bangladesh border. I saw the problem, solved the problem, and then so this was like 5 hours away from Kolkata. So I took a cab, and reached there, solved it. While I was going back, I saw this village where there was this Airtel IST PCO, and since we were supplying all the equipment, fixed wireless equipment, I knew that this has been powered by one of our equipments, but there was no electricity in that village. So I asked my cab driver, I said, "Bhaiya jara gaadi rokna." I just walked inside that payphone. I said, how are you powering this payphone? There is no electricity in the village. He showed me a big truck battery there. He said, Saab, yahan se power le. I said, this is fine. Those days we were not making phones. I was using some other phone. So weak signal here, there was no signal. So I said, how do you draw signal? He said, he showed me a big 20 dB gain antenna with some 30 meters of wire mounted on a pole on his terrace. He said, that's how I draw my signal. So this is India for you. I got more intrigued. I said, this is good, but then how do you charge this battery, because there's no electricity in your village? Sure. He said, there's a village 11 kilometers away. I lug this battery on my bicycle, go there overnight, charge it, and come back in the morning. I said, how much money do you make? He said, I make around $70 to $80. Now, $70 to $80 in a village where there is no electricity in India is a big amount of money at that time.
That's true.
This means no entertainment, no TV, nothing. And that was the time I started thinking that why don't we try and solve this problem? And then again, in interiors of Bihar, when I was traveling, I saw people with different chargers, and on top of it was written, pay 25 rupees to charge your phone. And that was the time I came back, I sat with our engineers and I said, why can't we make a phone which will last long? And that was the time. So that's how we started. Our first mobile with 1 month of battery backup was born, and we said, okay, this is Micromax.
You identified in many ways the needs of the average Indian much before the global companies, and I completely think that you got it right, because there was an arrogance in some of the global handset makers who did not want to go beyond the elite and the urban markets. Where did this thinking of going to these aspirational markets, or the markets which you're developing in tier 2 cities, where did that sense come from?
One thing which we realized that time, that so for example, energy was a big problem, and we said, okay, let's try and solve this problem. So all the global companies, they were cooking their food in their global R&D house, right, which was not having Indian flavor. People here wanted Indian flavor. So we said, okay, if you want an Indian flavor, we will start cooking the food here, which will serve all of you guys. And hence we started identifying all those gaps in the market. So for example, 1 month battery backup, long battery phone, we were the first one to launch, and it became a category in itself. Then we said, okay, why can't we have a dual SIM phone? Now, why dual SIM phone? Because one day I saw my cook using 3 SIM cards. I said, why are you using 3 SIM cards? He said, 1 for local calling. I said, second. He said, second to call my native village. I said, third. He said, which incoming is free, so I'm not throwing it away. So
right,
I went back to our engineer and said, hey, why can't we make a dual SIM phone?
Right.
At that time, people thought that only rich people can afford multiple SIMs, but the consumer truth was different. These were the guys who were using multiple SIM cards.
Rahul, the journey and identifying the real needs of the real Indian was a great way of making Micromax a success. Today now, others have jumped into the pool, and you're facing a lot of strong competition. What is your vision for Micromax today? Where do you see it in the next 5 years? Is it going to be a hardware mobile company? Will you continue doing more of what you're doing, maybe identifying more niches, or do you have something else in mind for Micromax?
Okay, so Pranjal, where we are heading, we feel that hardware is going to plateau in long term, and we feel software and services, that is the future, that is the way forward. And hence, if you have seen all those announcements, we have been one of the most active companies in the in the startup ecosystem in terms of investing. Last year we were one of the most active companies out there. So what we are doing is we are investing in all these really cool startup companies, and working on the whole bouquet of services. So for example, why services? Because mobile phone is just a primary device to access all these services.
Right.
But so mobile phone, the whole definition is, earlier it used to be a communication device, but now this is a complete utility device. 24 hours the device is with you. Now, and the first thing, so while you're sleeping, what you're doing is you're charging your phone and you see all your messages on. First thing, the moment you get up, सबसे पहले हाथ में जाता है on mobile phone.
Yes, I think it's, you see the phone before you sleep and just after you wake up. That's the first thing you do.
Yeah.
Right. But it's become a gateway to a whole set of functional and utility based services. In that way, Micromax is coming back full circle to software in some ways.
Yeah, and we love that. I think that is what our forte has been, and that is why we have launched our platform, our services platform, which is called as Around You, which means that that you don't have to download those hundreds of apps and then keep on registering on each app and then keep on doing comparison between, okay, if I want to buy a shoe, it will be available at X price at this app, Y price at this app, or if you want to take a cab, you have to download multiple apps and then do comparison. So we are moving in a world which we feel that apps is not the future. Future is deep linking. This means that how, without downloading apps, I can use all those multiple applications and also can do my comparison just by swiping one right click. Now this means what are we trying to solve is we are studying the behavior of our consumer because of our phone, and then every hour how can we solve your problem. So this means if you love to take cabs, we have a solution for you. If you love to, so by afternoon, if you like to order food, we have a solution for you. If you are looking for a doctor, we just launched this service, announced this service today. A doctor will come on phone, because these days the front cameras are so powerful.
No, but this is something which a lot of other companies are also doing. This is now going to be the new normal, that you can allow your phone to offer you a lot of services and access. And that's part of the digital economy that is maturing very fast. But you maintain a fierce independence by even having your own operating system. You've chosen not to go with the existing systems. Why is this focus on something new when you could go with what is established?
So this is the operating system. What we are using is a forked Android, and on top of that there is a layer of our services. And the difference between our services is that you don't have to download multiple apps, and it's a very intelligent system. It keeps on understanding your behavior. So what we are trying to do is so smartphone, that was the era of smartphone. We are moving towards intelligent phones. That how I can preempt you in terms of understanding you, that okay, now is the time. Now Pranjal is on a Saturday evening, he loves to watch a movie. How can I solve that problem? Or in the morning at this time you're going to your office and you always love to book a cab.
And that software is what you've developed to make it intuitive.
Absolutely. So we have a whole analytics engine running behind this, which keeps on understanding your behavior and keeps on suggesting you, okay, now this is a solution every hour. That's what I'm saying. How can you help your consumer every hour and say, okay, this is how I'm going to make your life better.
So tell me, you mentioned that you've been investing in companies. What part of the innovation and research or development of new software and new solutions is done within your company? And what is your plan for, how do you choose what to do in-house, and how do you choose what to invest in outside?
Yeah, so it's build versus buy. What do we build and what we buy? So for example, services like music, we feel others can do music better than us because they have a greater understanding of that. That's right. Why we partner with a company called Gaana. We realized that some services on our OS, like all those Avid readers, they would love to see the screen in monochrome mode rather than colored mode, so that it doesn't strain your eyes. We develop that in-house. So whole operating system we are developing in-house, but all those services, we are doing a mix and match of some services we're building in-house, and some services where we feel others are better, we are investing in them, and then imbibing all of them into our operating system.
So what is the kind of investments that you expect to do now? Is there a figure that you have in mind, or are there areas that you have in mind? How do you approach it?
Yes, so figures we won't be discussing, but yes, it's a substantial sum of whatever we earn every year. We spend a substantial amount on all these startups. In terms of what are sort of technologies what we are looking at. So let's say last year we invested in companies for comparison shopping. We've invested in companies who are meta search companies. In travel, we've invested in a company who has their own wallet. So we now have a seamless integration of our own wallet, which we feel is going to be very important going forward. The sort of companies where we want to invest, I think AI is coming up in a big way. So we are looking at a lot of companies in this segment. So
you're already seen as a company that has a huge potential, but in terms of scaling up to the next level, are you looking at restructuring the companies as a co-founder? How long do you think the co-founders will continue to run the business directly? What will be the growth and scaling up of the organization as you go into these new activities? Because you are now investing in so many companies, your bandwidth to manage all that will demand a new level of leadership from you and your co-founders.
So Pranjal, we came from nowhere. As I said, our backgrounds were quite humble, and we have reached to whatever we have been able to achieve in these many years. I think moving forward, we ourselves as founder, we would like to focus more on strategy, that where to take the company to the next level. And certainly, we have, in terms of talent, we have superb guys who are working in the organization, who are coming up. So if you ask where our focus will be as founders, we will be focusing more on the strategy to ensure that how we become a global organization. So right now we are in India, we are in adjoining countries, and now in Russia, we are in top 3 in Russia. So the response to our products and services has been quite phenomenal in other countries as well. I think we have a great platform from here. If we can do something, I think that will be great for us, for the country.
Global plans, but going global, I want to get some more details about that. But as a leader, as a business leader, what is your management philosophy? Because from a single market operation, you will be soon going to multiple markets, and you are already in many markets, and that will grow. From being a company that was from software to only hardware, now software and hardware both, your company is becoming also more complex. How do you plan to scale up the organization? What is your vision for Micromax as an organization?
Simple. I mean, keep investing in people. So that is the most important aspect for us. Hire great people, believe in them, give them, empower them, and once you are able to do something like that, and then you yourself as co-founder just focus on strategy, let them execute everything. So that's the most important thing. Sometimes the most founder-led companies, they get involved in doing strategy also once you scale up, because once you're building up, of course you're doing everything of your own, but once you scale up, then you're running day-to-day business operations also, and then you're doing strategy also. So I think we are reaching that level. Still, we are quite deep involved in terms of running the organization, but we don't handle the direct the direct functions. For example, we have great sales head. We have an outstanding marketing head,
and you have manufacturing now, which is scaling up.
Yeah. So that's why you don't have to only focus only on day-to-day life. You have to focus on, okay, if you have to move forward, how do you hire great people and how do you empower them? I think that's the most important thing, and simultaneously keep on developing the whole ecosystem. So I think that has been the mantra for us, and we've been lucky. We have one of the best talent, with us, and so far so good.
When you from designing and importing your mobile instruments to manufacturing in India, that's also a very big step. Give us your experience of doing business in India. How has it changed? What has improved in India, and what you think should improve?
So Pranjal, we have been the first one to start manufacturing the mobile phones out here in India. Before Make in India started, we were already doing that. So we are like the flag bearer for this whole Make in India thing in our segment. Because we believe that if the economies have to grow, then the whole local ecosystem has to start that growth revolution. And that's why we invested in and not only in one factory. Now we have 4 factories which are coming up. So that whole whole ecosystem of manufacturing we are developing since long time, and now we are happy that the whole ecosystem, the government of India is also supporting Make in India as their philosophy. So that is very, very important, because for a long term you can't be dependent on somebody else baking and making everything for you. So as older people say here that that you should control your own destiny, and we also say on our operating system. So in terms of manufacturing, the countries should be self-sufficient in terms of producing those goods. So we are glad and happy that the whole Make in India is coming up quite well.
Rahul, thank you very much for being on the show, and our best wishes for taking Micromax to newer heights.
Thank you, Pranjal. It was absolutely great.
Thank you.
Thank you.